Where are the men that like mid-looking black women?
As an ugly girl, people will try to invalidate my experiences, but they can't do that because I will never ever give my power away.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Esther, and welcome to my channel. We'll talk about real issues impacting real women while also learning how to grow our natural hair. So one of the things I've come to notice is that black women are calling herself ugly into a trend. So this lady took it to another level by coming online and asking, well, the guys who like male looking black women.
Where are the men that like mid-looking black women? Because yes, most black women are drop dead gorgeous, but then there's black women that look like me that aren't drop dead gorgeous. We still need love though. I've been single for 16 years. 16 years, you guys.
Instead of her coming online and calling herself male looking or calling herself ugly, she could use that time and work on herself, work on her appearance. If she feels like she doesn't look beautiful, she can take the time and work on herself. She can also do the internal work, which she desperately needs to do, and also the external work, make herself look beautiful inside and out, and she'll be able to attract the man that she's trying to attract. But instead, she's coming online and calling herself a male looking black woman or ugly woman. I think that is what she meant when she said male looking. She meant ugly. But instead, she's just coming online to seek validation from the public. But when people were trying to tell her that she wasn't ugly, she got mad. Yes, guys, she got mad. She said those people were trying to invalidate her, calling herself ugly. And so she came out with another video to drive her point across.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Good! Say it louder.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
I find it crazy that this lady, instead of her taking the time to work on herself, she's coming online to call herself ugly. And this lady is not alone. She's not the only one who feels like that. There's a lot of other women who come online and call themselves ugly. And when people are trying to tell them they are not ugly, they say that those people are trying to invalidate them, calling themselves ugly. Make it make sense, guys.
As an ugly girl, people will try to invalidate my experiences, but they can't do that because I will never ever give my power away. The reason why I embrace being ugly is because it's not bigger than me. And being able to identify the container that you're in, it allows you to move with more ease because now you have awareness. That's all it is. Me accepting that I'm ugly is nothing shy of awareness. Once you're aware of how society perceives you, you can now make an informed movement. You understand? That awareness brings informed movement. If a slave doesn't know it's a slave, how can it ever be set free, right? And I feel like by trying to rob my voice, a lot of what you are attempting to do is also what a lot of white people do when they blame black people for the circumstances that they're in. When they say, but look at how you're making it, but I'm poor too, but I'm aligned to the black experience too, which makes no sense because how can you align to an experience that you're not in? You can relate to it. Relatability and experiential are two different things. Experiencing something and relating to it is not the same thing. It's either you experience certain things or you don't. In this case, you have pretty privilege or you have ugly treatment. There's binary. It's always been binary. And this is not to say that if you're ugly, you can't achieve anything. That's the projection. That's part of the problem. That's why I keep pushing the dialogue and having layers to the discussion, because this is a layered conversation and it's going to take many skilled individuals, many skilled intellectuals to get engaged in the conversation to continue to push the dialogue. It's going to take several conversations. This is not something you're going to unpack in a day. This is truly a reparation, so it's going to take conscious conversation, discomfort, heated arguments, debates. But no one here is wrong for engaging in a dialogue. That's why I don't care if you agree with me or you disagree with me. Like, I truly do not care. I appreciate when people listen to understand because I'm a human being, but I'm having the dialogue because it's an important dialogue to have, and I'm not going to stop having the dialogue. I'm not going to stop having the conversation, because this is what I am passionate about. So no one can stop me from having this conversation, and I'm going to keep telling the truth. I want to tell the truth because that is what protection is. And that's why people don't want you to know want you to tell the truth. People try to attempt to silence the truth because they know the power that the truth has, because no one can go against truth. Your truth is your truth. No one can go against your truth. No one can go against your beliefs. And that's why I don't argue with people for their beliefs. If you are committed to misunderstanding me, that's your prerogative. That has nothing to do with me. I will continue to intend the message for those who is meant to receive it, because that's all that matters. You do not get to cap my influence. You can't give me my power, so you can't take it away. And I'm going to continue to comment on the subject. And a lot of people are like, oh, but she's contradicting herself. Society contradicts itself every single day. Quite literally. It's really about what you're aware of. And it's always been about awareness. And that is the cause. The cause is to bring awareness. Are you pushing the conversation forward or not? Are you bringing more awareness to it or not?
I debated whether or not I wanted to post about this conversation topic, because I feel like not only is it a touchy subject, but it's quite jarring, the response that this topic has been getting. People, specifically women, coming online to acknowledge the fact that by society they are deemed as ugly, and you guys are coming on here being like, well, I don't think any woman should call themselves like, are you guys okay? It's giving dense. More importantly, it's giving willfully dense. Because my thing is that we come on this here internet every other day to talk about pretty privilege in every way, shape, or form. In every way, shape, or form. We just had a conversation about the Victoria's Secret models not having, their bodies aren't unrealistic enough, right? Right? We have look maxers. All of this stuff about how to be pretty, how to do this, so that you too can benefit from pretty privilege, or whatever the case may be, right? We talk about it all the time, so much so it makes my, I'm over it. I'm over it. Yet the minute that women come on here, coming from the other side, right, to share their stories, to talk about the reality that a lot of women face, a lot of people face. Y'all want to see her, I don't think any woman should be calling themselves. What is wrong with y'all? It's giving dense. It's giving willfully dense. Because what do you expect someone to do? To sit here and pretend like the way that we aren't treated by society isn't like a really, really important part of our, life experience is ridiculous. And if someone is coming on this here internet to let y'all know that by society they're treated as ugly, and y'all sitting here talking about well, everyone is beautiful, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. And sometimes I think it's best to not talk, and to not speak, and to listen, and to let these people share their truths, share their perspective. Because we see enough perspective from pretty people all the time. Or people who want to be pretty, or looks maxers, or everybody else in between. We see enough of their perspective. But the second someone coming from a different perspective opens their mouth and shares the reality of what it's like living their life, being them, all of a sudden, now we shouldn't talk about it. Now it's a touchy subject. Now no woman should come on this here internet to call themselves ugly. It's giving dense. It's giving dense. It really is.
Women calling themselves ugly on TikTok is upsetting a lot of y'all. And it's just so funny how y'all don't have a problem with calling women ugly when you don't like them. But when a woman come online and she tell her truth about being an unconventionally attractive woman, all of a sudden now you got an issue with somebody referring to themselves as ugly. I done seen a lot of y'all say that these women are fishing for compliments and, they just looking for attention. No, some people actually are just self-aware. It's only y'all who go around lying to yourself and making yourself think that you look better than you actually do. But some people actually tell the truth about the life that they live on a day-to-day basis. They understand that they are not conventionally attractive, and they understand how society treats them by them not being conventionally attractive. A lot of y'all know that you don't get treated well either, right? You just in denial and you lie to yourself. But you know that you don't fit what society considers as attractive either. And you know that people treat you a certain way when you don't. But instead of hearing these people out, What you do is try to invalidate what they saying in their videos. You come into their comment section telling them, oh, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, all you need to do is XYZ. They didn't ask you what they needed to do. They didn't ask you for no suggestions. They didn't ask you for compliments. All they asked you to do was simply listen to them tell their truth about what they experience on a day-to-day basis. Sitting up and telling somebody that they don't go through what they go through is disrespectful, especially when they vulnerable enough to come to the internet and tell you what they going through and how they feel about it, and you sitting up in the comment section gaslighting them and making them think that they crazy when they know how life is for them on a day-to-day basis. A lot of y'all are so ignorant that you truly think you doing them a favor by coming into their comment section and lying. And like I said, the easiest way to know when y'all lying about saying that somebody look good or they beautiful or they pretty when you truly don't believe it is to call you they twin. Tell you that you look like them. Ask you simply, would you trade places with them? Because majority of the time the answer is going to be no, right? But you'll sit up and lie and gaslight them in the comment section to tell them that what they going through ain't really what they going through, even though they know the life that they live. Everybody is not conventionally attractive, and y'all know that. You know how I know you know that? Because you don't have no problem identifying an ugly man. Right? You don't have any problem identifying a woman who you don't like being ugly. You don't have any problem. You don't have an issue pointing out what's wrong with certain women. You don't have an issue pointing out flaws you see in other women. You don't have an issue identifying ugly until it's not convenient for you to do it. Until you get on your high horse and thinking that you're a good person by telling somebody that they not what they know they are. Being unattractive, being unconventionally attractive is not the end of the world, right? But we are not going to sit up and act like life is not different for somebody who is, and that people don't treat people differently when they are not conventionally attractive. And that's all these people are trying to say.
None of these ladies are ugly. They are not ugly. They are just average looking women. And if they do the work on themselves, if they fix themselves, they will attract the guys they want to attract. They will attract the things they want to attract. All of them in these videos, they need to do something. They need to work on themselves. It is an internalized thing. I know they have been called ugly. I know they feel like they are ugly. But it is one thing to acknowledge that people call you ugly, that people see you as ugly, and another thing to continue to call yourself ugly. If they do the internal work, which they need to do instead of coming online and posting all their personal matters online, which people seem to do nowadays. Once they do the internal work, then they will see themselves in a different light. But I feel like these women just come online seeking validation, even though they say they don't want to be invalidated. I feel like they come online just to gather like-minded people like them. They don't come online to post their story, to share their story in order for them to heal. They come online and recruit other people like them, and so they could continue on this negative narrative, this negative mindset. I'm not alone in saying what I've said. There's another lady here who said something similar to what I'm saying now. She felt like these ladies were playing too much of the victims.
Okay, serious question. What exactly do you guys gain from living your life with your head down? I've seen a lot of comments where that girl was making a video saying, I'm ugly. Does anyone want an ugly girl? A lot of people were in the comments saying, it's good to be realistic. It doesn't get you anywhere being delusional. A lot of us are ugly. A lot of us aren't beautiful. A lot of us don't meet society standards. So we need to accept it and be real with ourselves. What exactly do you gain from living life with your head down, feeling less about yourself, except for mental health issues, depression, and low self-esteem? And everyone is always talking about society, and I don't get that, because you don't encounter the whole world in your lifetime. As adults, you get to foster and create your community. I literally handpick everyone who I'm around as an adult. I handpick everyone I engage with for extended amounts of time as an adult. And when you believe you're not worth anything, you're less than, and you're in a constant state of comparing yourself to the next woman, you won't even take care of yourself. You won't do anything to pour into yourself. You're never going to get your hair done. You won't get dressed up every once in a while. You won't do your makeup. You won't do self-care. You won't do things to pour into yourself because you already believe you've lost the battle and you're not worth anything. I get to pick my life. I have people around me who think I'm gorgeous, who love me to death. Are there people on earth who would think I'm ugly as hell? Yes. But do I engage with them? Am I around them? No. So what's the issue? Like, I really don't get that. I don't get that mindset. What does it really do for you?
So as this lady said, and as I said, this is a mindset thing. What are these ladies going to accomplish by continuing to have this negative mindset? By continuing to perpetuate this narrative, this negative narrative about themselves, they are continuing to carry on those negative things that people have said about them. They are not heeding. I feel like you are just playing the victim. You are just victimizing yourself by continuing on this road. As I said, in order for them to completely heal, they need to, yes, they should acknowledge that people have said things about them and people have called them ugly. Then once they acknowledge that, they can do the internal work, they can go to therapy, they can do whatever they need to do to heal from the inside, and that will reflect on the outside. And with them continuing this negative mindset, they wouldn't be able to heal. This negative mindset will continue to bring on depression. It will continue to have them have a low self-esteem and low self-worth about themselves. I feel like if they truly want to heal and they want to live the life they want to live, if they want to attract the things they want to attract or the people they want to attract in their life, then they need to have a whole mindset makeover. They need to do a whole mental 360. So yeah guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one. Bye.